Einstein once said, "Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, then it will always think its entire life that it was stupid." This saying is quite appropriate to what the education system does to us. I recommend you to watch this video till the end to get aware of the futility of the present education system and how we, the youth, can bring about some small changes in it.
And don't miss the second part of this topic where we discuss some suggestions to make your studying interesting and effective. So let's begin. Firstly, let's take a brief review of the history of our present education system. Now, this present modern education system is ironically not that modern. Why? Because it dates back to around the 18th century. Yes, this education system was introduced in India during the British Raj.
During the Industrial Revolution, the British abolished the Gurukul system, which was prevalent at that point of time in India, and introduced the new STEM education system. This STEM translates to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics along with English. It was an amazing change at that point of time and produced great benefits as people got a basic idea of nearly every subject. But now, this type of an education system proves to be irrelevant and non-innovative.
So here we land up to the question, what's wrong with our present education system?
To answer it honestly, there are a lot of problems. Let's go through the top 5 problems which we face in our education system.
So here we begin. Number 1. Early beginning of school. Yes, it might seem as a benefit for kids, but actually it's a big disaster. Beginning early school prevents the child from receiving the basic etiquette, morale, and ethics which can be better taught at home, at this age actually. Consequently, the child is deprived of parental guidance which may make him susceptible to crime and other bad activities when he grows up. Haven't you heard that saying, knowledge without wisdom and you create a clever devil? A note to the parents. Parents, the basic building block of education starts from the home itself, and that too by you. Don't let your child miss that through early schooling.
Number 2. Lengthy and outdated syllabus. It is quite apparent that the syllabuses offered today are highly lengthy and outdated. Need not to say, it becomes very difficult for a child to cope up with so many subjects in a span of weeks. This eventually cuts down the child's productive time which he can give for the mind to relax and cherish creativity.
Also, some of the content we are offered today in our textbooks is centuries old. Now this makes us unaware of the new advancements taking around us. Our problems are dynamic and will keep changing. So how can such a syllabus offer solutions? So let me ask this question here. Are we getting prepared for the future or the past?
So what can we do? A small yet effective solution. Get yourself equipped with any books of your choice. Browse the internet for some interesting documentaries. The sum and substances, get yourself acknowledged to the new things going on and around you.
Number 3. Boring and unscientific ways to learn. Now from the 18th century onwards, we still hold faith in the chalk and blackboard way of learning. Now this way of learning is quite effective for primary education, but not so effective for higher education. Come on friends, we are in the amazing technological period of the 21st century. We have smart boards, virtual reality sets, AR sets, and so many interesting ways to learn. Let's apply them to our classrooms.
Scientists say that no two brains are the same, and the mother of twins can confirm this claim. But if we teach the same thing the same way to every potentially different child, then how can we expect for the same output?
Here I quote an advice to the parents. Every child is potentially genius. If not in academics, then maybe in some other field. And your job is not to force him in one particular field, but to find the field which he is best at. Just imagine if the great swimmer Michael Phelps' mother would have forced him to pursue academics, then would he have been this successful as he is today? Just think.
Number 4. Mark system and exam structure. Marks, marks and marks. This is what most of the students of the present education system, especially the Indian education system, chant about. The essence of learning is completely destroyed when learning takes place not for the sake of knowledge but for the desire for grades.
Even the exam structure makes it very difficult for brilliant students to stand out from their counterparts. Because what most students prefer is to just swallow up the information a day before the exam and then just vomit it on the answer sheet.
In this system, there is no way to calculate whether if a student has understood the concepts on cognitive lines or just memorized the content. And this makes these tests irrelevant.
Hence, such a system of tests are not a test of knowledge, but merely a test of memory.
Finally, number 5. Parental pressure and high expectations. All parents love their kids and have high expectations on them. But then, many a times, these expectations unknowingly put immense pressure on the child to succeed and tracks him down to psychological spheres. Consequently, he might get thrown into the darkness of depression or he might attempt suicide.
It is not fault on the parents or teachers' part, as they are the greatest well-wishers for a child, but the fault substantially lies upon the education system. Students look to the report card and feel that they have failed in their careers, even before their careers have not yet started. For instance, every 3 seconds a child attempts suicide due to academic pressure. Every 3 seconds. A whooping 400% increase as compared to the last decade. Don't you think something needs to be changed?
Every problem has its own effects and the impact of an improper way of education can be easily seen. The most common effects are unemployment, poverty, lack of innovation and an increase in the rate of juvenile suicides.
Also, some far-reaching effects can be included as slow economic growth, negligible rate of inventions, lack of solutions to future problems, etc. Now, this impact can also be shown in numbers. For instance, India produces around 1.5 million engineers per year, which are more engineers than the US and China combined. Yet, it ranks 60th, mind my words, 60th in the Global Innovative Index. Moreover, 4 of 5 engineers in India are unemployed or are doing a non-skilled based job for a living.
However, the worst fact is no Indian has yet received a Nobel Prize for Science since independence, even after having a higher average IQ than the world average.
The reason? Because of lack of cognitive training, most of them do not have enough understanding of the subject so as to practically apply it in reality and hence are less skillful. As simple as that. And yes, one big impact yet to be discussed is the lack of basic life skills. Now, why do I say this? Listen to this carefully. The problem is, in our present education system, we are taught history but not how to learn from the past.
We are taught science, but not to understand our own conscience.
We are taught about nature, but not how to become good-natured.
We are taught how to use technology, but not how to be aware of its misuse.
Lastly, we are taught how to build a successful life, but not a happy one. So friends, everything boils down to the fact that how we, the youth, tackle with this big education problem. Do we let it go as the way it goes? Or do we stand up for a change?
A change that will not only solve this problem, but will also help us to grow into better individuals in a better way.
Time and tide wait for none, and hence we need to start solving this educational problem right now before it eats away our future. Don't forget, friends, that even though we, the youth, are just 20% of this world's population, we are 100% of its future. So whenever you feel dejected by looking at your report card and feel that you are more capable than what just the numbers show, just ask yourself a simple question. Should I let a piece of paper decide my future? Thank you.
Hey friends, we apologize for the long gap in releasing our video because of our board exams. But from now onwards, we will be regular in uploading them. I recommend you to not miss the second part of this video where we give some suggestions for students to make their studies effective.
Also, in the second part of this topic, that is the education topic, I will recommend some really brain-twisting exams which can actually check your critical thinking, problem solving and aptitude skills on cognitive lines. So don't try to miss that. And yes, if you liked our video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it among your friends. If you want to know more about us, then you can visit our site given in the link below. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And hit the subscribe button and bell icon to get updated for more coming up soon. Till then, stay informed, get transformed, goodbye.